Hi, welcome to part three of the intuitive painting for beginners for under $10. And if you have stuck with me all this time and you're on the third video with me, I just really appreciate your paying attention and doing this with me, and I would love to have your feedback. All right, so in this case, now it's the time to start thinking about what we actually want our painting to be about. Like, what do we want? We have a background, we have the layers, but what do we want our painting to be about? So I looked at my painting and I thought, I think I want to do a pineapple. And I remember my intention words that I put at the beginning of this painting, and I remember that one of them was abundance. And so with abundance, pineapple is a symbol of abundance. So I thought, yeah, I'm gonna make a pineapple. So I just freehanded the black line, and then one thing I do to make it stand out a little bit is I line it with yellow, because I want it to appear as if there's light behind the pineapple and the light is kind of shining through the pineapple. And then I'm going to ring that with some orange. And then I'm going to have to put my back to you here for a second to do this thing, but I'm going to really wet it down with my spray bottle, really pretty wet. And I'm going to just spread out the paint with my brush and just try to make it thick toward where the pineapple is, and try to spread it out thinner as you go to the edges of the canvas. And just try to make a nice thin wash with this painting. And so I turned it around so I could reach it better, and I'm trying to just make it have this appearance of light. I want my pineapple to be the focus of this painting, so I'm going to try to bring some attention to it in that way. Usually when I put something in the background, like I put that yellow and orange in the background, I also add that same color to the actual body of the painting. That gives balance to the painting, kind of creates a harmony. And then I turn it back around again. I'm just looking at it. What's it look like? Well, need some green, of course, for the leaves of the pineapple. So we just flesh that out a little bit and just play with it. But a pineapple is not going to have like only one color of green. It is going to have some yellow flecks and some light green flecks and some dark green flecks. So having a variety of greens in there is just going to add some interest. And now I'm going to add some green down in the body. What we're trying to do here is kind of make it look like this one side of the pineapple is darker than the other, like there's light shining on one side of the pineapple and the other side is kind of in shadow. So that's what I'm attempting to do right now. Here I go with my toilet paper again, dabbing it back, dabbing the extra paint and water back. And I'm just almost, I don't know, kind of like this effect that has made. That's kind of neat. I like that. I'm going to work on that just a little bit more. And so that's where we talk about the intuitive painting, because we can start letting it go in one direction, and then we can see, no, I like it better if this happens or if this happens. And since we're not married to the fact that this is going to be a pineapple, I could make it something else if I want to. So let me see. Maybe I don't like all these black lines in here. So I can wet it down and get some paper, some toilet paper, and just dab that black off. Now you can do that with acrylic paint. Now I won't be able to get all of the black off 100%, but I can get a lot of it down and then paint the rest of it over so that we can kind of get rid of those black lines. Now, maybe this thing isn't going to be a pineapple after all. Or maybe it's a multicolored pineapple. I'm not sure yet. I'm still just kind of fleshing it out and seeing where it goes. Now, instead of a pineapple, if this was actually like a piece of art glass and the top were leaves, this might not be a pineapple after all. Now I've definitely decided that I've got a vase of flowers here. And so now I got to think about what makes a vase of flowers a vase of flowers. And usually we talk about numbers 3, 5, 7, and to make things balanced. And so I have 3 big flowers. I have 5 stalks of the white, I don't know, baby's breath or something like that. And now I'm going to fill in the middle and add some details to my 3 flowers. I also use my fingers a lot when I'm painting. It helps me, I can smudge out the painting or blend it in a little bit so my fingers are constantly in play. aware of when we're talking about a vase of flowers in particular is that we would have big flowers and then we also would have little flowers. We'd have big leaves and we'd have little leaves. So there's always like a big variety. We want to make sure that we keep the variety going in anytime we're doing something that's natural, because nothing is ever exactly like the same. And as you can see, I get kind of obsessed with the details once I get going, and I just keep going and keep going until I feel like I'm done. And one of my rules of painting is if you don't like it, just keep painting. And if you keep painting, eventually you're going to find that you come to a point when you're like, yep, this is a finished product. I like it now. Now, to me, I looked at it and it looked like the vase was just kind of sitting in the middle of, like, just not sitting on anything, just floating in the air, and that didn't look right to me. So I decided that I needed to have like a tabletop kind of thing for it to be sitting on. So I put in the lines for a tabletop. And again, there's not just one color on the tabletop. Even if my table was brown or red or purple, it wouldn't be just one shade of those things. So I add a variety of colors in order to depict the fact that there's a change in hue between where the light is hitting it, where the shadow is, and so I want to change it up for some variety. Now I'm going to go look back at the back of it and go, oh, wait a minute, that line does not make any sense. That's not right. And so I had to look at it from a distance in order to be able to see that my angle was off. Excuse my back, but I'm wanting to fix my angle. And now a little shadow, because of where the light would be coming in, I would have a little shadow here to ground the vase onto the table. And now, since I've decided this is definitely a vase, I want to see, can I make it look like there's water in this vase? Yeah, I'm going to make it look like the water's in here, and I'm going to do a few blues and some whites. And then toilet paper again, and we're going to spray it down, and we're going to wipe it back, because water's pretty invisible. You can't really see it real good. You just see the outline of it, sort of. And then even that's too much of an outline, we're going to give that back a little bit. Just need a hint of it to kind of show, yeah, there's water in this vase. And then to show that this is a glass vase, probably can see some of the stems coming down through the glass. So I'm going to add those in there and into the water. There's still this side of the glass that I want to show. It's still behind glass, so I want to kind of depict that stems are inside of a colored glass vase. I'm using my fingers again to try to get a little bit more water in there. the things that artists does. We don't always put that black outline around the thing after we've drawn it. Many times we start with the black outline and then we make that black outline thinner and thinner by painting over that. So that just shows that little part of that black outline showing through, and the colors take up the rest of the space. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm making that black outline around the face much thinner on that one side and thicker on the other side. Alright, so also to ground the thing on the table, I'm going to put a couple of petals here that have fallen from the vase onto the table. Here I do white because I want to do a light color over a dark color, so I do white first and then come in with the green. Otherwise the green would not show up on that black. Okay, now I've got big flowers, I've got little flowers, but now I need some medium-sized flowers. And I also feel like I need something spiky because all the rest of my lines are really curvy. And again, for variety and for balance, I need to add some medium-sized flowers. I also want to change up the color a little bit. I've got a lot of yellow in the background, so now I need some yellow in the foreground of my flowers. So I'm going to just add some little spiky little daisies right here in my vase. Lastly, I've decided to add some words to this vase. And the whole time I'm drawing these flowers, I'm thinking again about my intention words. And I had come with the idea that sometimes I think too much about what I do not have, and instead of thinking about all that I already have. So I decided that I'm just going to draw a reminder on my vase of something that I can keep on my wall and remind me of all of the abundance that I already have in my life. Okay, there you have it. The finished masterpiece of my painting. I started with a regular thrift store paint, cheap dollar store paints, and cheap dollar store brushes. For a total of $10, I have something that I am proud to put on my wall. And something to remind me every day that I find important. To remember that I have abundance all around us, and flowers are actually a symbol of abundance. And you'll remember that in my initial painting, in my initial intention words, I included abundance, creativity, courage, resilience, and keeping promises. All of those things are infused in the painting. And I have that energy, a feeling, I feel that energy when I look at this painting. It reminds me of those things. It helps me keep those things in mind. It brings a certain energy to the room to have something like this uplifting message. Also, I did it myself. I wasn't always sure. I first thought I was going to do a snail hamsa hand, and then I wasn't sure about that, so I decided to do a pineapple, and eventually it kind of merged into a vase of flowers. That is what intuitive and expressive painting is all about. Letting your intuition and your expression present itself as it will. Trusting the process, trusting yourself, believing in your ability to make it work for you. Knowing that acrylic paint can't be messed up, always painted over, so you don't have to worry about it. And also, just like a writer doesn't sit down and write a novel every single day, a painter doesn't have to finish their painting in one day. In fact, the layers on the painting make it more interesting. The more the layers, the more interesting. I hope that you have really gotten something out of this video, and I hope that you'll come back for more videos that I'm going to make on different topics or different methods. And please let me know what you'd like me to talk about next. You can put that down in the comments. You can email me anything that you're interested in hearing about or seeing more of. Please, I'd love to hear it. So until then, I want to wish you all blessings, overflowing blessings. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.